It's Thursday, October the 31st. What news have we brought you today? Well, we've spoken to George Boughey, whose plane was cancelled, but he eventually got here today. We've spoken to Sean Levey, to Sam Sangster, to Brian Meehan, to Tom Marquand, to the Japanese, and many more. And, of course, Coolmore is here. Look at this, the Coolmore army. Magni has turned up, Smith has turned up, Tabor is here, and Aidan. And you're simply no one these days in the world of horse racing if you don't have a City of Troy gilet. Troy, we better just check. Everything all right with Troy, Aidan?
Everything seems good, Matt. So.
Everything good. So look, Troy. Everything's about Troy. Every gilet here. Troy. Paul Smith by me. Paul, are you happy with Troy?
Couldn't be happier, Matt.
Paul Smith has got the Troy gilet. Derek Smith is here as well. Here's Bruff Scotty, and Tabor's here. Let's go and speak to Tabor. He is Troy as well. The only man who's not Troy is Bruff Scott, because he probably fancies Fierceness.
How are you, young man?
I'm very good. Were you happy with Troy?
Very happy, yeah. Absolutely.
May I say, you look magnificent in the Troy gilet.
Exactly. Well, there you go.
If you haven't got a Troy gilet, you simply are a nobody. I haven't got one. Well, here's Team Jayarebe, Brian Meehan, the trainer, Sean Levey, Sam Sangster, very much part of it. Of course, the colours of Robert Sangster carried to Breeders' Cup success with Royal Heroine, all the way back at the first Breeders' Cup. Sean, bringing a bit of Swaziland to the Breeders' Cup. How did Jayarebe feel this morning?
No, he feels amazing. Looks amazing. Took to everything really well. Very relaxed, which is a plus for him. Was good in the gates. Yeah, just delighted.
Just it's his physique round a very tight track like this that could be the issue. Is that fair?
He's a big moving horse. You'd imagine he'd be better on a galloping track, but at the same time, he has speed. He's stepping up in trip. We know he'll stay. Those factors alone should be a benefit anyway.
Because when I go for a run, I struggle around tight bends.
I'd say you could run around a saucepan with your stride, could you?
Why are you laughing? It's not as if you're the fittest man on earth, is it, Sam?
No comment.
You've eaten very well since you've been here.
I'm more of a swimmer, thanks, Matt.
Yeah. How good is it to be here with this horse, Jayarebe?
It's amazing. The first time I think I came to the Breeders' Cup was when Brian won it here with Dangerous Midge. Not here, obviously, over in Kentucky. But look, it's great to be here, and lovely to have a horse running in the colours. Kathmandu, she runs in the Golden Cobra. She's travelled really well. The team have done a fantastic job, to be honest. Both horses just look amazing. So we're here with 2 live chances, and dreams alive.
Johnny, come back. Wandering off. This is the middle of a very serious interview. Summing up your chance, what would you say? Because I guess on European form, he's got to take it to another level, but he seems to be improving with every run.
100%. On what I gathered today, he's done nothing wrong. He's improved even. And just looking at his form, he has a massive chance. And he got a great draw. So...
You've had a great year already. Obviously, Rosalian, it's been a terrific horse for you. But a Breeders' Cup success, is that the kind of thing that a jockey at your level just wants all the time?
No, 100%. I was looking at...
a silly question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, to be fair, man.
Not like you, man.
No, I've been...
Did he come as a sidekick or something?
I like him.
Never got that with Robert. Not ever met him.
But no, I've been coming to Breeders' Cup for a long time. Even when I was apprentice, I brought a lot of horses for the Coolmore team. So it's always been exciting to be around and to take part. I did with Bilson and Brook a few years ago, and to have a massive chance like I do this time around, look, it's amazing. And look, hopefully we can pull it off.
I've actually got to ask you while you're here, because you're very much part of Coolmore these days. You Group 1 winning jockey for Coolmore. How hopeful do you think they can be about City of Troy in the Classic? If you were riding a City of Troy, how worried would you be about the surface?
Surface, I wouldn't worry about. Maybe the sharpness or the sharpness of the track slightly. But looking at his work in Subtle, he coped very well with that. He's got a nice draw. He has a massive chance. He's an amazing horse. You just would worry about a horse that's taken on the dirt for the first time.
Well, as you know by now, the big gun has arrived at Del Mar. Yes, the UK's champion, the 4-times champion Oisin Murphy is here. Just keeping warm.
Yeah, it's quite chilly this morning, Matt.
Like being back home in Ireland. Right, you've got a new century who goes in the Juvenile Turf. Looked a monster when beating Al Qudra in the Summer Stakes, and that must have given you lots of positives, because of course Al Qudra beaten you the time before. It suggests you're improving.
Yeah, I think so, Matt. Look, he took the travel to Canada really well, and it was grade 1, and Al Qudra had really good form. Obviously, Al Qudra beat New Century at Ascot, but Andrew felt like the horse improved week to week, and his preparation for coming over here has been perfect. So touch wood now, over the next 24 hours, everything goes smoothly.
It's not as if he's come from nowhere, because he ran a really good race against Rashabar in the Coventry at Royal Ascot, which is quite nice, because it shows he had a bit of speed back in the day, and now he obviously stays strongly as well.
Yeah, Al Qudra ran in the Coventry.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I actually fancied him to win that day. William and I were joking about it before the race. I thought his run at Newmarket earlier on, and then his win at Lingfield was pretty good. Actually, it was one of the... For your viewers at home, that Lingfield novice has worked out really, really strong. So many winners have come out of it. New Century was obviously his debut. He was back in the field that day, but yeah, he's really come forward, Matt.
Andrew said to me that he wanted to be drawn 4 to 8, and when I sent him a little text message saying he's got 11, he went, hey ho, but it's not impossible, is it?
No, it is what it is. Look, if he can break smartly, I'll have a few options, and we'll see how quick they go. He's obviously going 2 turns over here in Del Mar. Again, for your viewers who may have seen him before, he went 1 turn in Woodbine, so it'll be slightly different for him, but he's not an over big horse, and he handles fast ground well, so hopefully he'll take to that track.
Finally, Oisin, there aren't many European jockeys who've won on the dirt at Breeders' Cups, but of course you have for Japan. Give us an idea of how difficult a task it's going to be for City of Troy in the Classic.
Well, it's kind of you to mention that. My only Breeders' Cup winner. Look, I think all his preparation, listen to Aidan and Ryan, all his preparation has been perfect, and he has shown gate speed, particularly as a 2-year-old. He had that workout at Suddle where they allowed him to really go forward and fast for a few furlongs down the back, and then obviously extended all the way up the straight. He's going to need to do that again, but I believe in the connections, and I think if he can break fairly, he's going to give himself every chance to win.
Well, it's lovely to have a Triple Crown hero, of course, here at the Breeders' Cup in the shape of Bob Baffert. Bob, welcome back to Breeders' Cup 2024. How would you describe your team that you bring here this time around?
Well, I mean, it's a team that they're maybes. They're maybes. You know, I don't have one that's like.
Hold on, Baffert doesn't do maybes, do you?
Well, sometimes the maybes can win. I've won these races with maybes, but they're good maybes.
Just have a look at those juvenile horses: Noonie, Citizen Bull, Gaming, etc. What's the best of those?
I really might. You know, Noonie is we paid a lot of money for her. She ran great, and then she threw a dud here at Del Mar. She came back, ran a decent second. She could have run better. I think she's trained better for this race. She could have she's really one-dimensional. She needs to be on the lead, so I think pace is very important for her. And on my colts, there are 3 nice horses. Gaming is probably like to sit, you know, right off the pace against the bit. He doesn't like to chase. Citizen Bull, get away, they're quick. Citizen Bull, I think he's improving. I really like him. He's a beautiful horse, but he's one-dimensional. And when you have these one-dimensional 2-year-olds, you know, as long as the other horses, you know, it's either going to be a pace meltdown or it works out, you know. So
is he the juvenile equivalent of Fierceness?
No, he is more like he reminds me of a horse called Corniche that I won this race. Yeah. He's fast, you know, and he's speed, and you hope he has more speed when they turn for home. He still won, but he was getting a little tired there at the end, his last race. But Gaming, he's a stalker. He'll handle the 2 turns really well. You know, but you know the one horse in the one hole, the 8th Avenue. What's his name? I can't think of his.
What, 8th Avenue?
The one.
Okay.
The one and the bottom horse. Those are the two tough horses.
One and bottom. I will check those out.
The one and the bottom.
And
those are the in game. Those are on sheets on the paper. Those are the 3 fastest horses. But my other horse have to improve, and I think Citizen Bull. And
Johnson McPatrick, yeah.
And Getaway Car has run well here. He won, but they took a backward step here at the end. But they're 2-year-olds and they're getting better, and so whoever breaks, I mean, the trip is the whole thing.
So if anyone doesn't have to look at that, East Avenue and Chancellor McPatrick, the 1 and the 10.
East Avenue, those are 2 really solid horses.
Pleasant comes in good form. We don't know. Look, I don't know much about the dirt filly and mare sprint, to be quite honest, but Pleasant looks to be a horse in good form, but this is quite a tough race for her.
It is tough. It was one of those things where, I talked it over with the Juddmonte team, and I said, I wanted to take a crack at it. And she was doing well, came off a layoff, ran a nice race, and I think she fits with these. I was hoping for a little outside draw where she could sort of, one thing about sprint races, one-turn races at Del Mar, outside's a big advantage if you can draw outside, or else get an easy lead on the inside. So I think the break's important here in Del Mar because the kickback is a lot of horses don't like it. So,
I'll ask you about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Just quick line on Muth in the dirt mile, disappointing at Santa Anita last time.
Muth, I don't know. He just laid an egg last time. I don't know what happened to him. He was doing well. I think he took a hold of him a little bit early. We think that could have, and he just got discouraged, and it's a deep, loose racetrack. He ran very well the time before off a long layoff here, like 3 weeks before. So he might have reacted from that race. I don't know, but he's doing well. And I don't like his post. A mile it's tough post, in the 10 hole. But he's doing well. So hopefully, we'll know the first half mile if he's going to, run a good race. But he always shows up. I was just surprised that he ran so poorly, but they'll do that to you.
And Newgate's a massive price in the Classic, but we know he's a very good horse. Does that just tell us what a good Classic this is?
It's a very tough Classic. I mean, there's some really good horses, a lot of horses with a sort of sustained style of running. I think it's going to be a hot pace. It's always hot here. And you really don't want to be too far out of it. And his draw, he's way outside. So Frankie, he's ridden in California now, and he knows it's amazing how a rider of his caliber. And I asked him this one day, how can you go from riding mile-and-a-half races in Ascot in Europe and all these great races where you're sitting there, where you come to California and it's pedal to the metal on dirt? He caught on really fast, and but he's a brilliant jockey, and he still has it. And so if the horse shows up, Frankie will get him there.
And you know all about winning the Classic. You've had Triple Crown winners, but we've got an offspring of Justified trying to win the Breeders' Cup Classic for Coolmore in City of Troy. Just final question, Bob. In your mind, can you really believe that a horse who wins the Derby and Epsom can come here and win a Breeders' Cup Classic on dirt?
I couldn't even tell you where Epsom is, I'm telling you.
It's about time you tried to win the Derby, isn't it?
I've never won a Derby. But the thing is, City of Troy, Aidan O'Brien is one of the greatest trainers on earth, and so if he thinks he's good enough, that's good. That's a big statement. He's by probably one of the best sires, best race horses ever. Triple Crown winner, Justify. The breeding,
very well trained as well.
I love the way he's a beautiful moving horse. He's handy, and that's what you need on this track. I like the way when he runs, he just skips. He's got a beautiful long stride, skips over it. The brake's going to have to be very important for him. The brake, on the inside like that, he's going to have to wrestle. But, if he can get away clean, and if I lose, if I can't win it, I want him to win it so badly. And I think it's good for the sport and the whole team, the Coolmore team. But I think he's an exciting horse. But I love the way he moves. He effortlessly, he just glides over the ground. And you look at him, he doesn't look like justify. You know, it's like, but he's a racehorse, and you know, if you're the way he's bred and you can run, you know, the sky's the limit.
Well, of course, all the chit-chat at Breeders' Cup has been about City of Troy, really, as far as O'Brien is concerned. But let's not forget Donnacha here, who has had a brilliant season with Porta Fortuna. I mean, she was a cracking 2-year-old, but I don't think anyone quite expected her to be such a huge beast at 3.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think when they're that busy at 2, you can never be sure whether they're going to step up and improve at 3. But you know, she really has. So that's testament to her and all my team back home who've you know, kept her developing and doing well at home. So yeah, no, she's special filly.
I mean, really with her, it seems to be just a case of whether she's good enough, because like a horse like Ramatuelle, we're thinking, well, will she quite see out the mile here? But Porta, we know stays, we know gets out, we know can run from the front or off the pace. Is there anything you're actually worried about yourself, other than the fact, is she quite classy enough to win it?
Yeah, look, I think around here, just the big thing is what kind of trip you get run around. You know, what your position is in relation to what the pace is like. Do you get the breaks at the right time? I think we've run against Ramatuelle twice and beaten her twice, so you know, I think she's definitely got the ability. Obviously, against Colts, we're not sure, so it likes a notable speech in Carl Spackler. We still don't know how her form ties in with them. But as I said, if she gets a good break and gets a nice position early, I think she'll be bang there.
And finally, Donnacha, obviously all the chit-chat is about City of Troy. You and Joseph know Dad, obviously, much better than people like myself. Just how much would it mean to him to win the Breeders' Cup Classic?
I think it would mean a huge amount. As you know, he's tried many times with lots of very good horses and came close lots of times, but he's, you know, yet to get one. So you know, I think it would be very special.
With him, does he talk about it a lot with someone like you? Like, is it on the conversation all the time, or when he's away from the races, is that not the topic of conversation?
Not really, because listen, everyone else does so much talking about it. Look, in my opinion, you know, he'll either handle it or he won't. There's no point in doing too much talking. We'll find out in the day.
Well, of course, we talked to Tom Marquand about Big Evs earlier in the week, but the cap tells the story here. Porta Fortuna could be his biggest ride of the week. Thomas, slightly, people could forget about Porta Fortuna, which you've had a great relationship, but she's been immense all season.
Yeah, she has. I definitely won't forget about her. She's been exceptional this season. Obviously, you know, it's been a fun team to be a part of as well, and she looks fantastic getting over here. So really looking forward to Saturday.
You know the difference between the Colts and the fillies, other than the fact they're different sexes. But what I mean by talent, what do you think when you compare those two groups of horses? Would you fancy a notable speech over a 1,000 guineas winner? Is really what I'm saying.
Look, it's tough. You know, she's obviously been pretty dominant in the fillies division, and stepping up against the boys is tough to do. But I feel like she's got all the assets that you'd want to try it. You know, she's obviously had that experience around American track, but it was Santa Anita, but similar makeup to here. She loves fast ground, and she's got loads of speed. And to be quite frank, we won't know until Saturday. You know, you'd love to say, oh yes, she'll be beating them, or no, it's too hard, but we just simply don't know. You know, so much can change on the way around here as well, that a notable speech can, you know, you can lose a race going into the first bend. So you just never know. But she's a top class filly and has shown that, and yeah, looking forward to getting the opportunity to trying to beat the boys.
What a big smash up for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Starts not just before the Classic, but at breakfast. Johnny Velazquez here, City of Troy here. You've just been chatting with Aidan O'Brien. Come outside with me, because it's loud in here, Johnny B. We're going to go outside and exactly find out what Johnny has been saying to Aidan O'Brien. Here he is. So, how was the chat with Aidan? Were you saying, I'm going to have you?
No, I'll actually interrupt their strategy. They were talking about strategy. Like, I want to hear what strategy you guys have for it, though, you know.
Well,
just make it fun, though. Yeah.
Jerry Bailey was telling them.
Johnny V,
the man. Jerry Bailey was telling them how to win.
Well, he's trying to set up a view the way he sees the race, how it's going to develop, basically, though, you know. And we all do that, you know. The whole thing is about if the horse allow you to do the things you want to do and how they're going to handle it, though, you know. So we can plan as much as we want. But when that gate opens, now we have to really see where we take it. So yeah.
And Johnny V, when the gate opens, you want your horse basically just to go, don't you? I mean, he's...
No, my horse would not be in the lead, though. That's for sure. I mean,
you sure?
No, he would not going to be in the lead, though. So, I mean, there's 2 horses they're probably going to go, and I'll probably be 3rd or 4th. And I got a great position to see who wants to go, and I sit right quietly with him.
So who do you expect to go? Newgate? Do you expect to go forward?
No, Newgate's be behind me.
He'll be behind
He'll
you?
be behind me. No, the horse Bill Mare will be in the lead.
Okay. Because I thought you were kind of one-dimensional. You have to lead.
Oh, no, I don't have to lead.
No.
I showed that when we won the Travers. We don't have to lead.
Okay. With City of Troy, do you think it's possible that he can get out and lead a Breeders' Cup Classic, having been on the turf?
I mean, if he breaks well, and if that's what they wanted to do, and send the horse to be leading, I think he can. But I don't think that he'll be in front of the Bill Mare horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
How good is Fierceness, and how good would City of Troy have to be to beat Fierceness if Fierceness brings his A game?
If my horse brings the A game, it'll be really tough to beat him. Absolutely. I'm just going to say it like that. If he comes with his A game, they're going to have to run really hard to beat him.
That's all we have to know. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, the big question this week, of course, has Mick Appleby got his mojo with him? Well, he's got it in the equine term, and of course, Big Evs as well. Let's start with Big Mojo, who's been knocking around with Asterius and the Molecomb and the Flying Childers. You beat each other one day and then get beaten the other. How's he going into this, Mick?
Yeah, he's very well. He's just going to go through the stalls in a minute. But now it looks really well. Took to the track really good. I mean, the main concern was whether he'd handle the bend, because it's quite tight and he's quite a big 2-year-old. But no, he's been galloping around it quite well. So we gave him a go around Southwell before we came out here, and he did that really well. So hopefully, all going well, he'll sort of handle it really well.
I mean, is he very like Big Evs really from last year? He's an out, away and gone horse, isn't he? He won't be wanting to mess around holding him in behind or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, he won't be quite as sharp as Big Evs. I mean, he's a bigger horse. I mean, I think he's going to be really nice next year. But yes, I mean, the main concern is hopefully he gets around the bend, but he's got a decent draw to be able to do that.
Big Evs has been pretty good this year, but he's had the odd annoying run. What do you make of him in 2024?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's really well. I mean, we always knew it was going to be a bit tougher as a 3-year-old. I mean, he's not really grown that much. I mean, he's a bit bigger. I mean, he's a lot stronger. I mean, he's filled out a lot more. But no, I mean, all in all, we've been happy with him. I mean, we've had things against him a few times. I mean, when he ran at York, I mean, the ground was terrible and had the wrong draw. So he's had a few excuses, but I mean, all in all, I think he's had a good season.
As far as I'm aware, there's no explanation for the Nunthorpe run.
I mean, it was just the ground and the draw.
Right, okay.
And the ground wasn't very good, and so he was just drawing the wrong side.
So, stall 11 here, though, presumably you would have won a bit lower if you'd had a choice.
Yes, ideally. I mean, he's not only got really good gate speed, so hopefully Tom can get him out and hopefully get across.
Well, I'm joined here at Del Mar by Toshi Onikubo, who is from Netcaber Media. Toshi, it's a simple question. Who are the best of the Japanese?
Yeah, it's definitely Forever Young. Out of 19, yeah, I'm very confident about that.
So Forever Young, a good thing?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, of the other Japanese, which are the horses we can look out for?
Yeah, I mean, one to watch would be Shafriel in the turf. He finished 3rd in the turf, same race last year at Santa Anita, but that was after his wind surgery. And this time around, much smoother prepped and more trip would help him. Yeah, I think Shafriel for each way.
Yeah. I mean, I was amazed that Sharia was only 6 years old. It feels like he's raced forever.
Yeah, exactly. And, trainers and riders are really confident. He's used to traveling, so it's, everything is settled, and I think it's prepped well.
Are there other Japanese raiders that you think have a good each-way chance?
I mean, a couple of juveniles are interesting to watch, and, Echo Seek, a very speedy horse, and Christoph said he got a lot of quality. So, yeah, Echo Seek in the juvenile turf sprint would be interesting. And, of course, American Bikini, she's talented, and American Bred. And also the other horse I would like to mention would be in the distaff. awesome result. Unbeaten 7 from 7, a daughter of Justified, rightly raced, 4 years old. Yeah, she would be very interesting, and 5 years old?
Yeah.
Legend of Japanese jockey, Yutaka Take will ride her.
I was going to ask you about Yutaka Take because, of course, we know Christophe Lemaire is a big star in Japan, but he is nothing like Yutaka Take, and he was brilliant just the other day on Dojus.
Yes, I mean, it was so impressive in the Tenno Show Autumn. I mean, Dodius came from nowhere, back of the field. It was not, desirable pace for him, but he smashed it. Take knows everything, he's the most experienced and, the talented jockey in Japan and Japanese. Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of him when I was young. So, yeah, record. He hasn't won actually Group 1 in America yet, so it'll be interesting to see.
Well, of course, the new George Boughey always looks pristine at the racetrack. Smart suit, tie, short back and sides. But you look like a man who's just got off the plane, George, right now. And you have.
Spot on, yeah.
How was your flight? Because your flight got cancelled.
Flight got cancelled, but we got a later one, so all good. Good to be here.
You've just arrived. You've gone into serious mode now, so I'll go into serious mode. Let's start with believing. Stall 1, headgear. Do you want her to get out quicker, or do you just want her to jump alertly?
I think just jump alertly. I think there's a lot been made about her stepping slow, but it's often that early 100 yards on slower ground that's not enabled her to get the traction to go fast enough. So I think she'll be fine. She's jumped 4 or 5 times since the Abbey. She jumped this morning. Billy Lochnan rode her and was delighted with her. So I think she'll be absolutely fine. There's loads of pace out wide, and over to her.
As a horse who's proven running style now, seems to be running at pace, is there anything in the back of your mind you're thinking, Christ, we've put this headgear on. If she gets lit up, everything that she likes doing could be changed?
She won't get lit up. She'll be fine. She's trained in blinkers 3 or 4 times since, and I actually just think it's made her a bit more alert. And if it was 6 furlongs, we'd be a bit more confident. But 5 looks, she's run massive races over 5 all summer, and just excited to see on very fast turf.
Pace is everything in this race. We expect Cogburn to go out, although he doesn't always hit the gates, Cogburn. He can come from off the pace, and there's all that pace out wide with Bradsell and Big Evs, etc. Again, are you worried stall 1, however you hit, even if you hit it quite well, all the pace comes across at you and you're stuck on that inside?
Yeah, she could get very far back if they do go hard and get over and in front, but look, I'm much more comfortable stood here drawn gate 1 than 12. There's been a bit of a talking about the draw all summer for her, and as she came out in box 1, we're very happy.
How unlucky do you feel she has been in 2024?
Of course she's been unlucky, but I think she's a consistent performer at Group 1 level, and it'd be great if she can nick that Group 1. She's due to sell at Tattersalls next month, and there's certainly a racing career on for her afterwards, just like we showed with Via Sistina last year.
Soprano at the trip. I mean, I can't have her at this trip. What makes you feel she will stay?
I think if she's ever going to stay, it's here. She shit great to Keeneland and ran super there, hit the line good. Yes, it's a big punt stepping up another couple of furlongs, but I'm just so pleased how she's relaxed. Billy and I were talking this morning about her being too free to the post over 6 furlongs at Chelmsford in May, and the fact that she's now got her head on the floor, happy as Larry, and showing, she's out of a sister to a Breeders' Cup Mile winner.
Going to get run over, that's why we're moving.
And
Starlust wants to come past us. We'll just have a show. This is Starlust, of course, for Rafe, trainer of the season for many in the UK. Boughey are particles.
Yeah, look, it is a bit of a punt, but I think I'd rather be going 11 here than I would running her in the Breeders' Cup Mile, and she got in the race, and she's a 10-to-1 shot with a couple of horses above her, possibly in less good form than her.
So much news to get through. Right, racing starts Friday, 9:45 UK time. That's when the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, I think it's the Turf Sprint, gets off underway. So watch all that on Sky Sports Racing. But from Delmar, on the eve of the World Championships, it's goodbye.